Hello everyone, and welcome to the start of a new project. You probably can guess from the board here that it's bowling, and this is going to be the Professional Bowling Association Championship. It's going to consist of 20 tournaments, 17 of which if you watch bowling, you'll recognise the names of. And to make it up to 20, I've added 3 additional European tournaments in London, Munich and in Paris. So, Bowl-O-Rama, as everybody who's got the game knows, you get 4 dice, 2 d20s, 2 d10s, and there you really only need the 2 d20s if you're playing the game where you roll against, and there's another part of the board that you add up, and it's not what we're going to be doing. So in this game you will see the black d20 and the black d6, and this white d6 will be used if we need one of these numbers, 2 to 12, or if it's an 1166 number, and if it is an 1166 number, the black dice will be the 10s. You will also see in this video those dice, and you'll see what they're for later on. They're not supplied, there's something that I'm using. So 20 tournaments, and we're going to play right from the preliminary rounds, and we're going to use the Bowl-O-Rama tournament mode process to get us down to the final TV ladder. Probably this first tournament, which for anybody who's interested is the PBA Players Championship. It may be split into 2 because I'm going to be explaining how this all works. In the other 19 tournaments we will just have it all laid out and ready to go at the preliminary round. So the preliminary round consists of all 88 bowlers, and this is the 2021 set of bowlers, and so we've got to cut these down to 24. And if you've got the golf, then you'd be sort of familiar with this process. So let's just shuffle them. As I said, this part you won't be seeing in all the other videos. I'm just showing you how it all works, and they're big cards, and so they're very difficult to shuffle, but still we'll get there. Right, so first thing that you do is you need to split these into 8 fairly even piles, as in with golf. It doesn't have to be exact. So there's 2, that's about half, that's about half, and some will be more, some will be less. Just make it so that they look pretty even. Looks like it's a bit of a big pile, so I'll put some on here. And similar with this pile, that's just about half, and just about half again. So in all the other tournaments that I'm going to show you, this is how it will be set up when we start the video off. I'm not going to be doing all the shuffling and splitting out. I'll do that beforehand, and then we'll get to this point, and this will be what will be the start of one of the videos. So from each pile we're going to have 3 bowlers that will advance, and as I said, it's based on the golf way of doing things. You roll 2 dice, and this here will tell you who goes through from the first pile. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just for completeness, the tournament will be based on the Bowl-O-Rama's money points system, and the way that works, if I just get the score sheet out, it's down the bottom here. The winner will get 20 money points, second 15, third 12, fourth 10, fifth 9, sixth to 8, 7, and then 9 to 24 will get 5, and some of the losers in this round also pick up money points, and I'll show you how that works, but it won't be part of all the other videos. So let's get started with this, and we're going to use this pile here, and it's a 7, which is draw 1 bowler to advance, then advance the 2 highest average bowlers full or half star. So we take this pile, and I'm going to use a D12 because I'm not going to just randomly pick something. It's going to be 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the first one that's advancing is Chris Barnes, and then we'll look for a full star, half star, and their stars are here on this card. There's the star. Half star is a non-filled in star. So AJ Johnson is 215, Jesper Svensson 216, Sterner's not going to make it, Archer's not going to make it, Parker Bone is not going to make it, Tim Foy is not going to make it, Brad Angelo is not going to make it, Brad Miller 215.5, so he will knock AJ Johnson out. 208, Graham Thatcher is not going to make it. 219, Norm Duke will make it, so Brad Miller will drop out. And 216.83, so Francois Lavoie and Norm Duke will go through from that group. These may get points, we don't know. Group 2, oops. 3 highest average bowlers advance, any or no symbol. So this one's going to be quite easy, it's just the best 3. So let's take the first 3, Peters, Ogle and Sloan. 206, 209, 212, 221, so Jacob Buttriff is going to take one of the places. 214, Sean Maldonado will take one of the places at the moment. 219, so 203 now, 211 no, 212 no. So Sean Maldonado, Patrick Gerard and Jacob Buttriff will go through to the next round. So what's happening with this next set? I think I'll just put that up there now. 4 highest average bowlers full stars only. So if you don't have a star, you're not going through. So EJ Tackett's got one, Dom Barrett's got one, and Chris Prather. 219, 220, 217. So you need 217 to start with. Well, Jacob Belmonte is, so Dom Barrett will drop out. So we're looking at a 220 now to get in. 219 to get in. And so EJ Tackett, Chris Prather and Jason Belmonte will all go through. To pile 4. 10. Draw 2 bowlers to advance, then advance the highest average bowler full or half star. So we've got 2 to go through randomly, and so we're looking at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first one going through is Marshall Kent. 11. 1 it would be, wouldn't it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the second one going through is Ryan Simonelli. And then full or half star highest ranked, so 206 is the best one so far. He can't go through, he's not got a star. 219, Bill O'Neill. No. 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 So Bill O'Neill is the third one from that group. So let's see who's going to come through next. 6-2 is 8. Draw one ball, advance, then heist any or no symbol. So it's 1 and then next 2 heist regardless. So the 1 is going to be the third one. 1, 2, 3. So Tom Hess. And then we're looking for the 2 highest, so they're going to be the 2 at the moment, 116 and 111, 216, 211. So let's have a look at the other ones. No. 211, 23, no. 217, Kyle Sherman will knock Bowl-O-Rama out. 205, no, 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 no. No. Anthony Simonson comes in. Matt Russo drops out. So you've got to have 217 at least. And so those are the 2 that go in on their merit, as it were. Next group. 5. 3 highest average bowlers, full or half star only. So half star, he can't go through. He can go through. And he can go through. So we're looking at 203 at the moment. So we've got 214 Wes Malott, so he'll go through. 216, he'll go through. 207, so Tom Doherty, BJ Moore and Wes Malott get through to the semi-final round. Next pile. 9. Draw 2 bowlers to advance, highest average bowler, full star only. So here we go. We want 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gary Faulkner Jr. and 2, that makes it easy. 1. Greg Ostrander. So it's just the full star. AJ Chapman's currently. 211, 212, so it's still AJ. 212.54, yeah, AJ Chapman will go through. So the final pile, 8. Draw 1, advance 2, any or no symbol. So it's draw 1 and the best 2. So that's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Michael Holliman, and then the best top 2. So 204, 215, 208. So that's 207. No. 205. No. 214. That will bring him in. 206, no. 209, no. 211, no. 215, yes. So the final 2 are Sean Rash and Josh Blanchard. So that gives us the 24 that are going to advance to the semi-final round. So if we just put those to the side for the moment, because these guys that have just been knocked out do have the chance of getting money points. 2 of the piles will have the chance of claiming many money points. So what you do here is, again, you split it into about half and then half again, so you've got 4 piles. That's a very short pile, so I have to go in there. You don't have to be exact, just like in golf, you can, as long as they feel quite right. So what you do this time is each pile you roll 2d6s, which is what all these are about, and dependent on the number is dependent on the top 2 numbers will get money points. 2 points for the highest number, the pile with the highest number, and 1 point for the second highest pile. And they're going to go black, white, silver, and then the red and blue. So I can roll them all at once then. That's the only reason they're here. Easy for me. So silver, that was a 2, black, black, white, blah blah blah, and these numbers are significant. So as you can see, we've got 9 and 6, and these 2, they're done because they're the lowest 2. So those 2 piles, those bowlers did not get anything. Right, so what the rule says is that you've got 2 ways of doing this. You can give them all 2 points in each pile, or you can use this number, and it's in the instructions down here. For more realism, you can require a dice roll of 10 for the stack for all unstarred low participation players, blah, which we haven't, we've only got 9. 6 or less will only be full starred, and the in-betweens will be full and half stars. So what we can now do is get rid of all those dice because we've finished with them, apart from the white one, of course. We might need that. And so anybody that's a full or a half star will get 2. So Christopher Sloan doesn't get a point, Matthew Ogle doesn't, and this is how easy it is to get to this stage. So these are the 2 point money point bowlers, and there's a lot of them, all but 3 of them. So they're the 2 points. I'll put that pile away somewhere safe, and it's the Mitch Hoop pile, and these only the full stars get a point. So Walt Ray Williams Jr. will get a point. Nicholas Pate, Darren Tang and Stuart Williams, they are the 4 that get the 1 point, and that is the completion of the first round. So we now move on to round 2 of the tournament, which is the semi-finals round robin stage. And at this point we need to have 8 players left, so we need 4 piles, and the easiest way to do this is just to shuffle the cards, really, because then it's a different order to what was from the first pile. And all I do here is I just put four piles out, 1, 2, so each one is going to have 4, not necessarily putting the cards in the same order every time. we've got the 4 piles, and we're back again to roll 2d6, roll 1d6 in this case, and if it's 1 or 2 then it's the 2 highest average bowlers, 3 and 4 highest average bowler and 1 draw, 5 or 6 is the drawn bowlers, and it's as easy as that. So let's start with this pile here. Let's see, he's going to go into the positioning round, and 5 is going to be 2 drawn. So we've only got 6 in the pile, so I'm going to use a d6. I don't need the d12 anymore. So 1, 2, so in the positioning round, Marshall Kent, 1, 2, 3, and Gary Faulkner. So the other 4, E.J. Tackett, Tom Doherty, Francois Lavoie and Anthony Simonson, they will pick up 5 points, 5 money points. So let's see what happens with the second set. 4 highest average bowler and 1 drawn. So let's see who's going to be the drawn bowler. Number 1, BJ Moore. So Butterworth 221, Ostender 217, so he will pick up 5 points. Sherman 217 will pick up 5 points. Norm Duke will pick up 5 points. Chris Prather will pick up 5 points. So we've got 4 bowlers through to the positioning round. Let's see what happens with this group. 5, 2 drawn bowlers. So I'll roll both of them. Black one will be first. 6, so it's going to be the bottom one. That's easy enough. Patrick Girard, and then 5, which will again be the bottom one, Michael Holliman. So Tom Hess, AJ Chapman, Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill will be out on 5 points. So the final group, let's do the same. Let's see what we've got. 1, 2 highest average bowlers, easy as that. So with 214 Maldonado, 215 Sean Nash, 215 27, so Maldonado will drop out. 215 48, Blanchard will drop out. 213 Simonelli won't make it, and Walt Malott will not make it. So we've got the final 8 into the positioning round, and what you now do here is you go to the other side of this chart, which is the Bowl-O-Rama quick play bowling mode, and we need to record the results here of the rolls. We get 1 frame of bowling to see which are the top 5 to go into the ladder match. So for each bowler you would roll a black D20 and a black D6, but they can be normal or aggressive, and as you already know, I don't like to make the choice. So what I've decided is that the white die, if that is a 6, then they will go aggressive, otherwise they'll go normal. We've got to keep a score of what's happening. So Chris Barnes, he is normal, and it's a 5-5, which is plus 16 to his average, so that's 2-1-5, 2, 3, 1. And it's the top 5 that will go through to the ladder match. Next bowler, Faulkner. Normal 16-2. He's going to be a minus 17, so that is 183. That's not looking so good. BJ Moore, see what he can do. Two 5, so that's plus 25 for BJ Moore, so that's 240, which will put him top of the rankings at the moment. Jacob Buttroff. +1, which is a plus 16, so that's 237. Marshall Kent. -12.4, -5, 212. Sean Rash. 13.1, which is -8, which is 207. Girard. -16.5 -17 is going to be 202. And Michael Holliman, which I suspect is the lowest ranked bowler in this tournament at this point. No, Faulkner is. Holliman, oh, that's good. 1.5. He's going to get a +29. He may well get in here. 239 for Holliman. So Moore, Holliman, Buttroff, Barnes and Kent. That's going to be the order of the final 5. So let's get that out. Moore, Holliman, Buttroff, Barnes, and Kent, which means that Faulkner, Rash and Girard will get 7 money points. So we're now at the stage where we can fill our ladder sheet in. So let's have a look who we've got. We've got Chris Barnes will be in the first game against Marshall Kent. And the winner of that will be against Jacob Buttroff. And the winner of that will be against Michael Holliman. And the winner of that will face BJ Moore in the championship match. So there we have it. Do we just go ahead and plough on? Hi everyone and welcome back. We're in tournament 1 of the PBA Championship and we're at the finals ladder stage for the PBA Players Championship. Game 1 is 4th finishing Chris Barnes against 5th finishing Marshall Kent, and we're going to use a 2-lane, so Barnes will bowl the first and then Kent will bowl his first and then his second. I'm going to use the black and white, the black dice, and if I need to get a 012 or 1166 number, I'll use the white dice. So Chris Barnes is going to be the first, and he's got an 8-1, and an 8-1 is going to be a strike. Marshall Kent, 16-4. 16-4 is an 8 plus, so we look on his 8 plus spare and he's got a 13-2, and that's going to give him his spare, so his maximum he can get now is 290, and I think black dice is not looking so good against the black background there, so I'm going to try and use the white dice If it's a 1166, the black dice will still be the one that takes precedence, but I think we'll see the white dice better. So Marshall Kent will roll next on the opposite lane, 13-1, and that's a strike, so that gives him 20 in that box. Chris Barnes now comes up, 16-2. 16-2 is an 8+. So looking for the spare is 2 pins to get. 13-5 on an 8+, gets the spare. So I get the 20 in there, and so it's 240, 260, 280 is his maximum he can get. Moves over to the opposite lane. 5-5. 5-5 is a strike, so that will give him 40 in there. And Marshall Kent for his third frame, 1-6, and that's going to be a 9. So he's looking for a spare on a 9, 16-6, and he's going to miss it. So that's in 49 and 58, so his maximum now is going to be 268. Coming up for this ball on the second lane, 8-3. It's going to be a strike. Chris Barnes with the apparent lead at the moment, 24. There's going to be 7. So he's looking for a spare on a 7. 11-6, and I don't think he's going to get that. Oh, well, I'm wrong, he did get it, so wrong one. So that gives him 60. That's 180, 200, 260 is his maximum now. So Chris Barnes is up again on the opposite lane, 17-4, gets him an 8, which gives him 78. Can he get the spare? 19-3. And he does, he manages to get the spare. So 248 is his maximum they can get so far from this game now. Marshall Kent, 18-4 is an 8. Can he get his spare? Hopefully he can, because I've already marked it. 1-1 he can get his spare. 78, so his total is 70. 248, so they're both exactly the same at the moment. Marshall Kent, 13-6, that's not going to be good. It's going to be a 7. So that gives him 17. Gives him 95 after 5 frames. Can he get his spare? 13-2, and I suspect he will get his spare on that. And he does. And 40. So 235 is the maximum he can get there. Chris Barnes on his 6th frame, 5-3. It's going to be a strike. He likes that. 98. Coming up for his 7th frame, 7-3, and that's going to be a strike. The winner of this will receive, the loser of this, sorry, will receive 9 money points. So Marshall Kent with a 19-1, he's going to get a 9. Again, nobody wanted to see. But the spare should be quite easy for him. 1 pin. 8-5, and he gets the strike, gets the spare, sorry. Maximum drops to 234, moves over to the opposite lane, 24, and he only gets a 7. So 131 after 7 frames. Can he pick up his spare? 26, that's not going to be good. And he's going to miss everything. Misses everything and gets an open frame 7, 138, which now means his total, best total, is going to be 198. It's not looking good for Marshall Kent. Chris Barnes, 16-2. He's going to be an 8+. So get 28 on that. 116 after 6 frames. On the opposite lane, 1-6, he's going to get a 9. No, sorry, he's looking at a spare, isn't he? 8+. 1-6, he's going to get the spare. 136. So 216 is the best he can get at this moment in time. So 9th frame for Chris Barnes. 6-2 is going to be a strike. 156. Plays 138 after 8. So really Marshall Kent needs to strike all the way through this. 3-3 is a strike. So he goes over to the opposite lane. 5-4 is a strike. 8-4 is a strike, so he'll get the 30. Can he strike out and give him a target to chase? 198. 18-6. He's going to get an 8. So that will make him 186. 196, sorry. $196. So Chris Barnes, can he make this into the next round? 18-2 is going to be a 9. It's going to be an 8. This could be interesting. He needs to strike out on his last ball, I think. Let's have a look. Can he get the spare? 3-4. He gets the spare. 176. So his maximum here will be 28. So he can get 204. He needs well, let's see what he gets. 23 is going to be a 7. So that's a 17. 193 and he's lost. So Chris Barnes loses on the 10th frame. And Marshall Kent will go through to the next part of the ladder. Jacob Buttroff waiting for him, so Buttroff will take the first ball. 9-6. He'll get a 7. Not a good start. 8-4. But he will get the strike. Marshall Kent, who managed to come back and beat Chris Barnes in the first ladder match, 4-2, gets a strike. Moves over to the opposite lane. 22, and he's only a 7. So Kent looking to get his spare. 19-4. And he'll only get a 2, so he's going to leave an open frame. 19-28, which leaves him 268 as a maximum. Jacob Buttriff then. 16-6 is going to be the Y chart. So let's see. 44. It's going to be a 5. So that gives him 15 there, and the Y chart on a 5, you use these charts when it comes off one of the YZ charts. So it's a 5, and he is a triple A bowler. So let's have a look. 6, 6. So 6, 6 on a triple A is a spare. So he picks up his spare. And so 240, 260, 275 is going to be his maximum at this moment in time. Jacob Buttriff moves over to the opposite lane. 13-4 is going to get him a 9, which gives him 34 after 2 frames. Can he pick up a spare? 18-1, quite easily. 264 is going to be his maximum they can get now. Marshall Kent. 16-2. Gets an 8 plus. Can he pick his spare up? 2-1, yes he can. His maximum at the moment is 258. And he's on the opposite lane. 10-3 is going to be a strike. So Buttriff comes up on his original lane. 6-4 gets a strike. 54 after 3 moves to the opposite lane. 8-4 gets the strike. Marshall Kent. 9-1, sorry, 6-1, that's going to be a strike. And it is. On the opposite lane. 11-1, another strike. So 78 now after 4. Buttriff on his starting lane. 10-4. Let them truckers roll, and he gets a strike. So he's got a 6-pin lead after 4. He moves on to the opposite lane. 4-4 and another strike. Gives him 1-1-4 after 5. Marshall Kent. 1-2, and that's going to be a strike all day. 108, 114 after 5. Moves on to his opposite lane. 18-2 is going to be an 8. So that will give him 28. 136 so far. Can he get the spare? 16-3 on an 8 is going to be the spare, so he'll get 156 after 7. 236 is his maximum now. And Jacob Buttriff 4-3 is going to be a strike, and that could be the boulder he needed. If he gets a strike on the opposite lane here, it will virtually be over, I should imagine. 10-3, and it is a strike. 174 after 7. Marshall Kent really needs to strike out to put pressure on. 7-4, and he strikes, so it's a possibility. Marshall Kent, opposite lane on his last Bowling attempt 5-6, not good. He's going to get an 8. Can he get the spare? 15-6 on an 8. And he does get the spare. So 196, 226 is his maximum. 11-4, and it's a strike. So 20, 28, 224, and really he just needs a strike here, Butterf, to take him through. 2-2, and that will be a strike. $204. 13-6. It's going to be a 7 minus. So that's 27. Not that it matters, they've already made it. Can he get the spare off this? 4-2. And he does. So a 251. And Jacob Butterf beats Marshall Kent. $251 to $224, but Kent will pick up 10. Well, I have to sorry to announce that we lost feed during this ladder match, but Jacob Butterf has advanced to the championship ladder match against BJ Moore. He beat Michael Holliman 205-218, so this is the championship match. 20 points and 15 money points available, and BJ Moore gets us underway 11-5, and it's going to be a strike for BJ Moore. Jacob Butterf 13-2, and he picks up just a 9. $7-5 will get him the spare. Moves on to the opposite lane. 17-5, not a good start. 8, so it gives him 18 after the first frame. Can he pick up the spare on this one? 2-3, yes he can. 278 is now his highest he can get. BJ Moore 9-5. You're gonna get a strike. On the opposite, he gets a 1-1, which is definitely a strike. So on for a perfect game at the moment. Butterf needs to regroup on his own lane. 14-3, and he's going to get a 9. Not doing well at all. 37. Can he pick up the spare? He can. 267 is now his maximum. Moves on to the opposite lane. 17-3, and he only gets an 8. So he's really struggling to get his ball in the right place. Can he get the spare on this one? 2 pins to get 24. And he doesn't. He has left an open frame. So he's got 64 after 4. So 224 is his maximum he can get. So BJ Moore could do a lot of damage here. 9-5, and he gets a strike. Building up a unassailable lead here if he can keep doing this. 21. He only gets a 9. I'm sure he's not going to be too upset about that, the way Butterf's been bowling. So 29 is going to be 89. Does he get the spare? Yes, he does. So 109 after 4. 279 is his maximum. So currently on the maximums he's 55 pins up on Butterf. Butterf on his own lane 24, and he bowls a 7. He's having an absolute mare. 8-6. Gets the spare, so he'll move on. Two more 4 is now his maximum. On the opposite lane, 2-4 is going to get a strike, and he needed that one, the first strike of the final. BJ Moore looking very relaxed on his own lane. 21, he gets a 9. So 128 after 5. $16.4 on a 9. There's going to be a spare. So 268 is his maximum. More on the opposite lane. 3-2 is a strike. So Butterf needs to put some strikes together here if he's going to have a chance. 9-6, and he can't do it. It's a 7, leaving 3 pins. 22, and he's going to leave another open frame. $202 is now his maximum he can get, and it's not looking good for Butterf. He's had an absolutely awful game here in the championship match. BJ Moore 8-2 gets the strike. He already knows that it's all over. 20 points are going to go to BJ Moore. 3-5 is another strike, and it's really over. It's 298 without even rolling under the ball. 19-3, and Butterf gets a 7. He's just lost everything. 7+. Can he make the spare? 14-5. He gets the spare. 182 is his maximum. He needs to spare. He can't win. He's lost already. 6-2 is a strike. 7-3 is a strike. 4-1 is a strike. For BJ Moore, 6-8, sorry, 8-6 is an 8-, so, but doesn't matter. 186, can you get the spare? 13-5. He doesn't, he just gets the 1, so that will end. At 2-1-4. So BJ Moore becomes the champion, the PBA Players Championship winner. Jacob Butterf comes second. So there we have the end of the tournament. BJ Moore taking the tournament, the PBA Players Championship, gets 20 money points. Jacob Butterf gets 15, Michael Holliman 12, Marshall Kent 10, and Chris Barnes 9. Hope you've enjoyed it, and the next one will be a lot shorter because there'll be no explanations, and we'll be starting immediately from the selection of the preliminary rounds. So next tournament will be the Kia PBA Tournament of Champions. So look forward to that next week, and we will see you in the near future. Thank you.